And I don't know what more there is to say when it comes to Brandon Aiyuk. There is one tangible development. On Friday afternoon, he posted a video in which he claimed that he had fired his agent, Ryan Williams of Athletes First, in November of 2025. NFLPA records did not reflect that. There's a database that's available to the media where you can search a player's name, and after 10 or 15 seconds, boom, there's the name, there's the player's agent. Now, if the player doesn't have an agent and you search his name, nothing gets returned. That's usually the sign that the player has decided to represent himself, possibly after firing his current agent. In this case, after Aiyuk said he had fired his agent, checked, there it is. Still represented by Ryan Williams, confirmed with the NFLPA that their records were up to date. So we put that out there on Friday night. By Saturday, something happened. On Saturday, somehow, some way, the standard representation agreement between Brandon Aiyuk and Ryan Williams had been terminated. Sunday, when you put in his name in the database, nothing is returned. I confirmed that indeed that is because the SRA is terminated. That means right now that Aiyuk doesn't have an agent. Now, here's the most encouraging part of all of this. It shows that Aiyuk is able to do what he's supposed to do, at least in one setting. He said he'd fired his agent. It came to light that he was still represented. By Saturday, he did what he needed to do to terminate the relationship. And that's important because his next step should be to file a petition for reinstatement with the NFL because he's on the reserve left squad list. We talked about this last week. He can't just show up at the 49ers facility on the first day of training camp and be released. Before he can do that, he needs to be reinstated. We assume it's automatic, but we also assume the supplemental draft was automatic. So who knows what happens when he petitions for reinstatement, but we can't know until he does. That's his next step. I raised the question a few days ago, who's advising him? Well, officially, through the NFLPA, no one. But at this point, someone, whoever it was, and it may have been Aiyuk himself, who realized something needed to be done to formalize the termination of the agent relationship, someone needs to tell Aiyuk to send a petition to the league office to get reinstated to the active roster. That sets the stage for what would be very simple. Show up, and the 49ers will release him. They would be foolish not to, because any injury suffered that would be season-ending, from blowing out an Achilles tendon on the practice field to dropping a weight on his foot in the weight room, season-ender, they owe him more than $26 million. That's the key if he's looking to get released. And I know in another one of the videos he posted over the weekend, he said he won't go back until he's playing for the Commanders, and the Commanders face the 49ers on October 19, Monday Night Football. Still, unless the 49ers release him from the reserve left squad list, he can't force his way out. The one way to force his way out is to show up. And he can't show up, or at least it won't matter if he shows up, until he petitions for reinstatement from the reserve left squad list. That's where it stands. Now, my guess is there will be more videos, but at this point, one thing matters. One thing and one thing only. Filing the petition for reinstatement with the league office. Whoever is close to him, family member, friend, whoever, new agent, union on its own, reach out to him and say, hey, here's what you should do. Now, he also posted a message, a written message on Instagram where he criticizes the NFLPA. It's not really clear what his beef is, but to the extent that he's suggesting that the union was somehow in cahoots with the 49ers, that's not how the union operates. I've never seen, heard any suggestion or indication that the union would work with a team to in some way undermine the rights of a player. It is completely against what the union does. And as I say that, I have to add a caveat. Other than the time they hid the collusion ruling for months and didn't tell any of the players about it, including the 3 players whose name was on the collusion grievance. Other than that one time, there is no other evidence I guess I've just completely undercut the entire argument. Regardless, I don't think the union as it's currently constituted would do that. And the bigger issue is file the petition for reinstatement to set the stage to get released. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.